What the hell? Get out of my wall! The hell? What the hell? I didn't even click the start button yet. I didn't even start Discord this time. I thought you guys were watching my Discord. Sure, we can finish this. Where are we at? Right here. Right there. Oh look! It's the lady that was supposedly Booba. Alright, let's get it.
Morathi, the first sorceress. Wow, 2 hot dummy mummies back to back. My audience is down bad this week.
I am the mother.
I'm not sure if there's a single thing I can say about you that isn't explicit. I really wish you'd put on some more clothes. It's hard to make fun of you when you're so hot.
Heart render.
Morathi, I still have no idea what it is about crazy women that turns me on, but you are undoubtedly the craziest woman in Warhammer fantasy.
She's crazy.
No stopping me. Don't hold back.
See what I mean? Even your threats sound sexy.
Boka,
Siege, give me strength. I think I might be too horny for this video.
Boka, give me your scales.
No! And don't interrupt TT reacts. Gosh. Alright. Hi, Alan. Hi, Doctor.
Enchanting beauty.
Well, it's not like she's a terrible fit for me. We both serve chaos gods, and we're both schizophrenic psychopaths. I can make this work, or at least have some great sex in the meantime.
Your will be done.
Wait, don't turn into Pancreas no work, you're better than that. I'm from the future, Kairos sent me. The vile spawn you create with this crazy just so evil. Games Workshop had to retcon everything. They removed the whole map except for Bretonia. Bretonia's all that's left. No one even cares about this game anymore. Who wants to play as Bretonia? But I can fix her. No, you can't, you horny idiot. Quick, before you do anything reckless, read her lore. By all the Chaos Gods, this is insane. It just keeps going.
It just
her
keeps
body
going.
count alone is longer than Gelt's lore.
Oh
How
no!
many people did she kill? She did what? She's like a female version of Manfred. Whoa, that was too close. Slanesh almost got me that time. All right,
Slanesh almost
future me,
got
you can
me.
head out now. I've got this.
I think not.
Silence, hag! Good grief. Morathi, I still can't believe what I just read. You're insane. Like actually insane.
Your words are nothing.
What kind of sick deviant goes from the plains of Isha in Ultuan to worshipping Slanesh? What possessed you to gaslight your son into trying to become the next Phoenix King? And when that didn't work, you decided to make that into everyone's problems for a few thousand.
The ultimate of what's it called? Basically she's she didn't believe in her son too much. What's the word? We'll just go with what he said. She gaslit her son.
1,000 years just because you wanted to, and I quote, do a little trolling.
Yes.
Good grief, it's telling that you didn't even try to deny that. I don't know what you did to make Creative Assembly place Mother Ostankya right next to you, but going from your lore, I can only conclude that you absolutely deserved it. What kind of manipulative psychopath murders her son's wife to keep him from becoming a better person?
Show no mercy.
It's a miracle Malekith hasn't killed you yet. At this point, it's only a matter of time.
Unlikely.
The only people who even want to play your campaign just want to stare at your ass. Seriously, Morathi, it wouldn't surprise me if you coined the term gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Alright then. I understand that she's messed up and evil now.
Everyone you've encountered is worse off because of you.
Summon the
even
one.
the other dark elves despise you. Why can't...
Okay, fine. I like how you kept saying you were gonna summon the maid, and then you summon Gremlin. Like, surprise! Like, I didn't think you would do that.
Can't you abandon the cult of pleasure and just be a normal dark elf? Stop spreading pink corruption.
Pink corruption? She spreads her own color corruption. That's
Do not order
silly.
me.
In hindsight, none of the dark elves are normal, but the fact that you insist on being more deviant than them is telling. You're worse than a one-night stand that leaves 5 STDs and slashes your tires. If I had to pick between you and Valkyria, I'd pick her every time.
I refuse this insolence.
And I refuse to spend another second looking at your hot body. This is normally the part...
I like how half the roast is him being like, You're hot.
Of the video where I ask y'all to do something, but I'm way too horny to think. Time to leave.
What's that lopsided? She's like leaning down to the one side. She's trying to do that like sexy pose. Like, wow! You know? Rhine of Cain. This is a blood person, right?
Ah, Nakari, greater demon of Slanesh. It's actually nice to see you before Alariel could wipe you off the map.
Why do you
After those
have
two
one
hot
boob?
legendary lords, I needed a palate cleanser, and your disgusting body managed to clear my mind faster than I could say post-nut
One
clarity.
The Tempter Lord.
You couldn't tempt a blind nymphomaniac on a dry spell.
Do not ruin my mood.
Nakari, even your faction mechanics are goofy. Of course, the sex faction had to include a domination mechanic. At this rate, this whole video will be me picking up low-hanging fruit. Let's be honest, Inkari. The number of players willing to play as Slanesh is less than the number of people willing to mate with you. Both of those numbers should be 0, but there are some real freaks out.
I didn't see that one coming. I didn't even know that.
That was too much information. Nakari, I'll never understand why Slanesh goes out of his way to make y'all as repulsive as possible.
Drink in my excellence.
Not to mention delusional.
He is very delusional.
2. I understand on the silly literary theme that y'all are supposed to represent corruption through overconsumption.
Hunger for souls.
But that corruption physically altering your appearance beyond recognition ruins the seduction that's supposed to entice us into this overconsumption to begin with. Your entire existence is paradoxical at best.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everything about this.
For the rest
So
of my
that seems to be
smooth brain
paradox.
audience who might not have understood that last rant, I'll simplify. This crustacean is supposed to be a literal sex demon, and yet he's one of the top 5 ugliest characters in the game. I'd rather get pegged by Grom the Paunch than end up in bed with you.
I reject this.
I like how I reject this statement.
Greenskins have a penis, but I digress. I'm pretty sure you have more lore in your 40k book than your Fantasy 1. I guess BDSM jokes don't land well in a fantasy setting. How does it feel to be one of 2 races in Warhammer 3 with only 1 legendary lord?
The greater secrets are mine. Alone.
Your very existence is meme-worthy. Based on how goofy Slanesh is and how unenjoyable it is to play your campaign, somehow, I doubt that you will ever get a second legendary lord. Not to mention the only legendary lords who could have been Slanesh are too embarrassed to ever actually join your race.
This displeases me.
I love that it feels like they're answering sometimes.
If I wanted to play as a cavalry faction, I'd pick Bretonia. And trust me, I don't like Bretonia.
I want their secrets. Just a sample.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be sure to talk to them one of these days. Nakari, the only thing pleasurable about your cult is getting to purge you off the map.
Without fail.
Oh, I see the High Elves already defeated him. Honestly, I thought y'all would get here earlier. Looks like I'll have to continue this conversation in the Chaos Realms. Well, 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 fancy meeting you here.
No, you fool.
I just wanted to tell you that you suck thick elf than Marathi,
Oh, okay.
more than Manfred.
This might have been like the biggest roast so far.
Also, demons of Khorne are 100 times cooler than you.
The invisible guys.
Like an astrology
Still
side chick,
here.
this loser is used to being shamed. But the moment I brought up religion, he lost it. Time to leave. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all again on Wednesday.
He catching up, buddy. You might want to teleport. Shut up. I'm not sure, Stack.
Scarbrand, Exalted Bloodthirster. Whoa, that's a lot of titles. You have more violent titles than Tuarox.
He has a lot of titles.
I'm not sure why you Chaos types have some of the best resumes. Still not as many as Cetra, but maybe someday you'll catch him.
Not possible.
Now that I think about Torox, I'm pretty sure Creative Assembly just copied his animations and made them a little larger for your in-game model. Scarbrand, it's no
Maybe? And they looked pretty similar.
surprise to me that out of the 4 original Greater Demons, you are the most popular. That should be a great
I bet it's because he's a red winged demon with horns and axes. Makes sense.
compliment. But I mean, just look at your competition. Kugath is the average
Also, yeah.
American streamer. Notice I didn't say successful streamer, just the average. Nakari is basically an incel when you consider how his entire personality revolves around how horny and disgusting he is. And Kairos is so overpowered, he has one of the hardest campaigns to truly enjoy. I guess at the end of the day, your severe lack of neurons and personality worked in your favor. You're probably the simplest faction in the game, and that's kind of endearing. You satisfy the male fantasy of going out and killing things in the most violent way possible. I think any fellow man with even a small dose of testosterone can appreciate the concept of spilling the blood of their enemies.
The drink of blood.
Except you start in the place with all the Tomb Kings. You know, there's no flattering way to say this. These husks are devoid of blood. Well, don't worry.
Yeah, that is a little awkward. The guy that really wants to, like, get blood can't get blood because he has to fight all the bones. Well, skulls for the Skull Throne. There you go. You got your skulls. Now you just need to get blood.
Because there's also...
I crave bloodshed.
How? Where are you getting this blood? Okay, seriously, Scarbrand, what are you doing here? By all the Chaos Gods, if I was Khorne, I would have exiled you just for picking this as your starting position.
Well, no. You gotta get the bone, the skulls for the Skull Throne.
Anyway, as a servant of Tzeentch, I've always appreciated the followers of Khorne. While Nurgle is nearly impossible to manipulate, simply because their followers are too lazy to get off the couch, and Slaanesh is a little easier to manipulate because they're always horny. The followers of Khorne are by far the easiest to manipulate. All I need to do is point you in a direction just like a bull, and your tunnel vision takes over. Speaking of bulls, I'm starting to seriously think that you're just a cooler reskin of Torox. The similarities are uncanny. But I digress. Wow, just look at him go. Seeing someone slaughter the stunties really warms my heart. Thanks to the slaughter and carnage ability on his demonic axes, once Scarbrand starts killing, he has a hard time.
With the effect intensity increases with Hellmaid. Oh, he gets up to 100% damage and 100% weapon piercing. So, like, 150% extra damage, basically? Or something like that?
I'm stopping.
That's pretty good.
By all the Chaos Gods, that was fast. Oh snap, he's got violence in mind and he's running straight for me. Where did all those bloodthirsters come from? Quick, where's another mountain range? I'm sure you can kill even more stunties over there.
Skulls.
Phew, that was close. And he's back. Well, that's unfortunate.
Blood.
I should probably start running. I guess I should have seen this coming. You're literally just rage. It's a shame that Khorne removed your wits and your personality. Although I doubt any followers of Khorne actually have those.
Murder.
Well, now that you're officially trying to kill me, I want to point out that Tzeentch played a large role in your exile. I bet you feel like a clown now. Like I said earlier, even before Khorne lobotomized you, you were easy to manipulate. Since you were exiled from the realm of Khorne, I think that officially makes you the worst Greater Demon.
No.
I like how, even after putting up with the infuriating Realms of Chaos campaign, killing Urson and dedicating the slaughter to Khorne, the Blood God responded by laughing at you. That's why Khorne will always be my second favorite Chaos God. He straight up called his best follower a simp. Are you always in debt because you like the color of fresh blood? I know you love the color red, but you really should invest in your financial future.
I'm guessing he's not good at building a income.
And that's why this video is sponsored by... It was a joke. I promise it was a joke. No one wants to sponsor this channel. Not when my next client will probably kill me.
Tear them apart.
I really need to find a safer line of work. Anyway, don't forget to like for the like god and sub for the sub throne.
That's silly.
Hopefully I'll still be alive for Wednesday's video.
He had blood on him this time. He actually got hurt in this video, guys. Vlad von Karsten. Breaking off.
Vlad von Karstein, Vampire Count of Sylvania,
Vlad von
or should I
Karstein.
say, Vashanesh of Nehekara.
Thou may speak for now.
Like
Of
for
course
the like
Isabella's
god and
with
sub
you.
for the
I should have figured
cornflakes.
she'd be nearby, especially when you get insane buffs having her around. Heck, your faction effects boil down to, this man is married.
I'm mesmerized by your beauty.
The world will be ours.
Are you even listening to me? Of course I get sent
He's like, we can ignore him.
to advise an undying lovesick couple. Anyway, Vashanish, the way you ghosted Neferata, someone might think you were actually a siren. Hopefully she's feeling merciful once she finally joins the game.
His lady. You cretin.
Cretin!
Honestly, the fact that you managed to score 2 of the hottest women in Warhammer without a nose might be your most impressive accomplishment.
Disrespectful fool!
I still think it's hilarious that you decided to wander aimlessly in Kislev for hundreds of years. Imagine calling yourself Vladimir and choosing to live in Kislev.
How dare you!
I don't get the joke.
Alright, I'll stop. I promise to call you Vlad for the rest of the video. Despite your previous relations and your evil tendency to periodically conquer the Empire, you and Isabella actually have the healthiest relationship in the game. The lads love a wife guy.
A true diplomat can hide much behind a silvered word.
I will say that your campaign has been a little rocky since the launch of Warhammer 3. Ever since those Skelly boys started that infuriating union, they're demanding actual wages, and now you can't keep them for free. I'm pretty sure the Changeling had a role in that one. On top of that, your 2 largest regional threats consist of unbreakable stunties and a goth girl pyromaniac. You're literally wedged in between the 2 best counters to your faction. In short, you're really screwed. It's a good thing Creative Assembly decided to buff the Raise Dead mechanic, because you're going to need it for all the battles you'll lose against those 2.
Did you hear something?
I'm not sure they're paying attention anymore.
Nope. They started ignoring you about halfway through.
Anyway, I should definitely point out that
didn't
your
wanna
quest
tell
to
you.
become an official elector count was so cursed that when
Guys,
you
stop
finally
trying to
achieved
dab
your
up to the
goal,
evil
the
guys.
world ended.
You need me?
Yes!
Join me for dinner.
I shall consider good breeding.
Speaking of your breeding, honestly, your single greatest mistake was creating your child, Manfred. Talk about a terrible creation. Finally, I need to bring up your obvious lack of mounts. The Red Duke and Manfred have dragons, Kemmler and Isabella have flying necro horses, and even Gorst has a chariot from his old family business. You're an absolute menace on the battlefield, but it takes forever to get you into combat. Do you have any idea how annoying it is to wait hours before destroying your enemies? Kolek would never put up with that.
I thirst.
I thirst. Soon I shall become prostrate and subservient.
Well, I guess you have a mount after all.
Bring me what
Wow.
I am owed!
No mercy!
I don't think he heard
Wow.
a word I just said. Okay, this is getting weird. I should leave. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Shameful. That's all I can say to that.
Epidemius, the Maggot King and Reckoner of Mortality. I can't believe I have to deal with another follower of Nurgle. This is...
I gotta say, Nurgle has to be my... Gotta be the... I guess we're roasting them. So, ugliest faction.
Isn't even the last one either. There's still that stupid doctor. What godless creature in Creative Assembly thought it would be cool to add even more disgusting ER patients to the game? Seriously, when will Daniel get a rework? We could have added Tancred, Thankwall, Nagash, Neferata. We could have finally added Boris Todbringer as a legendary lord. I've had it with this game. Okay, I'm still livid
Why are
with
we
rage,
looking at
but
the
now
tiny
I'm calm
one's
enough
butt?
to do this. Epidemius, in your defense, Maggot King sounds a lot more
Right in the middle of the
intimidating than
screen. Come
Tamakon's
on.
title as the Maggot Lord. It's too bad you're literally just a fat bureaucrat. Tamakon's way cooler than you, and his campaign's more exciting too. You're not even unique
I
either.
hate bureaucrats.
There's literally 6 more Proctors of Pestilence. Seriously, what are you doing in this game? What red-blooded male looks at a game called Total War Warhammer and thinks, you know, today I think I'll play as a fat, sick bureaucrat. And don't lie to me and pretend your job is necessary.
Bureaucrats.
Do you really think Nurgle doesn't already name every individual plague he creates? He just created your job because he felt bad for you. Out of every Nurgle legendary lord, you're clearly the most forgettable. The only memorable thing about you is how stupid you look with 2 rows of Nurglings on your palanquin. I guess your lore is somewhat interesting, if predictable. You almost killed Teclis, and you failed to claim Malekith's soul. No great surprise there. Both of those elves have plot armor. Don't feel bad about failing to kill Teclis. That man cheats death more than a cockroach. Are you even paying attention? This is the 3rd lord in a row that straight up ignores me.
I
First
just noticed
Scarbrand
that.
with his daddy issues,
The last
and
3 lords
Isabella
have
with her
basically
very
ignored
different
him.
daddy issues, and now you. You know what? I have had enough of this. Listen here, you piece of filth. You have absolutely no fans. The only reason anyone owns your DLC is because it's free. Also, the fact that you're supposed to fight Malachi, a perfect counter to your faction, just cements the reality that even CA thinks you're pointless. I could forgive all of this if you weren't a soulless government worker with the gall to ignore me. Well, ignore this, you redundant freak.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
That was satisfying. I'm leaving.
I like how it ended with him shooting it. You forgot to claim him. Oh, it's even worse. He's free and you don't want him. When are they made him free?
Pirate
Wonders
Captain
why they
Jack
made it,
Sparrow.
then.
Hold on. Something's not right. Who are you?
Luther Harkon.
Ah, my bad. Luther Harkin, the Arch Grand Commodore and Pirate King of the Vampire Coast.
I am the Pirate King. Who are you?
Wouldn't you like to know, Sailor Man? I know I said I was sticking to spooky factions during the month of October, but I guess you'll have to do.
Request what you will,
Whoa.
but I answer to no one except myself.
I suppose mental illness is pretty terrifying when you really think about it. Speaking of which, are you doing okay?
What the
My
heck?
mind rages.
Well, this should be interesting. This might even feel like
crazy.
roasting, advising multiple lords at the same time. At
Multiple
the very
lords?
least, it should
Oh.
be memorable.
Hey!
Curse my crowded psyche.
I heard you used to call yourself the Emperor of Lustria, a bold claim in Warhammer 2, a much more realistic claim in Warhammer 3. You'll still have to deal with Gorrock, though, and I don't see you succeeding in that fight.
You smell worse than my decomposing deckhands.
Even though you're supposed to be the poster child of the Vampire Coast, Davy Jones, Count Noctilus has a much more exciting campaign.
No. No!
Unfortunately, similar to Count Noctilus Commodore Harkin, your faction desperately needs naval combat to immerse the player base.
What are we waiting for?
Well, Creative Assembly needs the rights to naval combat from Games Workshop, and at this point in Warhammer's life cycle, that outcome is about as likely as you defeating Gorok to claim Lustria.
Why do
Who's
you
Gorlock?
pester?
Which one was
I'll
that?
admit, Harkin, before today I never took the time to appreciate your lore. This is hilarious.
Stop trying to
Imagine
dab
attempting
up
to break
the
open a vault
crazies.
and not only failing, but going completely
Chat.
insane in the process. L plus ratio plus maidenless.
I'm cooler.
Fool.
It is intriguing that no one really knows where you originated from or how you became a vampire. But I mostly blame that on your various personalities, arguing over different backstories, similar to a group of delusional fan fiction writers who can no longer remember what's canon. Considering one of your own skills is headcanon, I think this is the only explanation for your conflicting backstories.
Don't waste my time.
That's
or I shall have you
hand
walk the
cannon.
plank.
Now that I think
Was
about
he just
it,
using a
you
word-
might be the only vampire
Invisible
in Warhammer
dude!
fantasy who can't
That's
use
what I
any
look forward
wings of
to in
magic.
all of these videos
I
now.
refuse.
I'm pretty sure you don't have a choice. You were literally cut off from the winds of magic during your little accident.
I thought I was the crazy one.
Why am I trying to argue with a madman?
My madness is not weakness.
Good grief, this is worse than arguing with Kairos. You know what? I'm leaving.
I've decided not to kill you. But my minds can be fickle.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Out of the question.
Just
Out of the
ignore
question.
him. I'll see you all again on
Just ignore
Saturday.
him. I like the thought process, like the thought that went into this. Some of the lines and stuff, and like they're really funny. Like they come off very organic, actually. Really silly. Weak head taker. Rack.
Queek Headtaker, great warlord of Clan Moors.
Brave to approach
Skaven!
me, head picker of Moors.
It's the rats.
Shall I kill,
Rats.
slay
Rats.
you?
Rats.
It is an honor to meet someone who despises the stunties almost as much as me.
We talk instead of fight kill, yes? How can you best serve Clan Moors?
I know I said I'd stick to spooky factions during October, but upon further reflection, there's something absolutely terrifying about a violent narcissist addicted to radioactive crack.
What?
According to your lore, you're supposed to be the most naturally gifted Skaven who isn't taking enhancements. I mean, obviously you have a big chunk of warpstone around your neck, but I can only expect so much from a rat warlord. Expecting 0 warpstone on a Skaven is like expecting to walk through downtown Los Angeles without seeing fentanyl. Completely absurd.
Wow.
Honedrat agrees.
I'm not going to lie, Queek. Of all the Skaven I could have advised first, I'm still flabbergasted that my audience selected Tretch Craventail. I think it's ironic that I get to advise you next. You buff the same shitty units as him, but at least you can recruit Storm Vermin in one turn. You're probably the only lord comparable to Tretch, even though you're nothing like him.
Lower your muzzle and bask in glow of my brilliance. Thing.
Queek, I'm gonna be honest. If you were any other race, you'd be about as noteworthy as forgettable old Albric. You're strong, brave, more than a little reckless, and you inspire loyalty in your soldiers. All of these traits are expected and common in other races, but seeing them in a Skaven is truly special.
I, mighty warrior champion. Challenge me.
Challenge
Fight
me.
Fight quick.
Hell, if you weren't also a narcissistic, skittering menace with a special case of nepotism, I'd question if you were even Skaven
Dad,
at
shut
all.
up.
Kill no first.
With your bloodlust and bright
Kill
red
no
armor,
furs.
I spent years confident you were
Hey.
secretly a follower of Khorne.
Kill, slay, maim.
For
Maim.
Skaven, you're reminding me too much of Scarbrand. I've got to say, I'm a huge fan of your contributions during the Battle of Karak 8 Peaks. It's always exciting to hear about a stunty massacre. Truly inspirational stuff. I heard a rumor that Slim Shady was there.
It's the little guy. it's
No need why
the
these short people are so violent.
Anyway, I think I should point out that as a vanilla Skaven
wait, how do you do
faction,
that?
your campaign is relatively unremarkable.
Not my fault.
True enough, yet somehow you're one of the strongest Skaven factions. I suspect this has less to do with your mediocre campaign buffs and more to do with CA's drunken rampage to nerf your competition.
No, I blame you.
You're one of the only Skaven lords to survive past turn 50 anymore, with all the newer, stronger lords being dumped on the doorstep of every other Skaven. The Chaos Stunties are making short work of Tretch. Gelt and Zhao are tag-teaming Snitch. Malachi is burying Throt in more artillery than a World War I battleground. And Skrulk never stood a chance, setting up residence in Jurassic Park.
Challenge me, challenge Clan Wars. I dare you.
And as
I
far as
dare
your
you.
campaign mechanics go,
What now?
you don't really get anything revolutionary for claiming Carrack 8 Peaks. I'm okay with these mediocre buffs because of the 3 homeless lords. You start out the closest and can claim the city relatively early.
8 Peaks is mine.
Now, if you had to cross half
Mine,
the map
mine.
to get here, I would expect some better perks. Speaking of crossing half the map, I heard there's a massive warpstone deposit in China.
Curses!
curses.
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought that crackhead would kill me for sure. I've got to get out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, we never saw.
Subscribe. That crackhead.
Where is he?
Yes.
China.
Where is he?
Seeing
Where
half
is he?
the map to get
Where
here.
is he? Where is he? I didn't notice him
And
this
can
time.
claim the video get anything revolutionary for claim Park.
Challenge.
Malachi is short work being dumped towards to petition and buffs and more. True enough.
Violent.
Anyway, it's exciting to hear about the
Buzz.
so a narcissist special. He's more than a little wreck about him. I think it's ironic. Zero warps into your lord something absolutely
How should I kill?
We didn't find him. Is he not in there?
a great warlord who could have advised first. I'm
Chat.
still flabbergasted to advise you next,
the first time
even
he's
though
like-
you're nothing like him. Queen,
Sorry,
I'm gonna be
Bill's
honest.
mad that
If you were any other race, you'd be
Mama's
about
leaving.
this. And the races, but seeing them in a Skaven, narcissistic skit at all, I spent years confident you. For a Skaven, you're reminding me Battle of Carrack 8 peak stuff. Anyway, I think I should point out that as a vanilla Skaven
Aye.
faction, true
I did.
enough, yet somehow you're one of mediocre your competition.
No, I blame you.
You're one of the only Skaven lords to step of every other tag-teaming Snick round and Skrulk.
Clan Wars. I dare you.
And as far as your campaign, Carrack 8 Peaks, I'm okay with the aim this. Now, if you had to cross half the map to get here, I would expect some better perks. Speaking of crossing half the map, I heard there's a massive warpstone deposit in China.
Curses! Need more trophies.
Was he not on the map?
Oh, thank goodness. I thought that
I'm sad. I want my invisible boy. Where's my invisible boy? Where is he?
Tamakan,
Ah.
I really wish my audience would stop picking gross lords. At least there's only 4 more losers I'm completely dreading. Is your title really the Maggot Lord? You're telling me that those troglodytes at Games Workshop looked at the Lord of Flies, a book used to describe children without the controlling hand of civilization, and thought, nope, that title is too cool for one of our chaos warlords. We need something even worse.
Nagos champion!
Good grief, that voice is terrible. If I ever get around to one of your campaigns, I'm turning off the speech volume. I'm sorry guys, but I'm not about to listen to that for the rest of this video. These videos don't make nearly enough for that. You're getting the cut-up treatment.
What are you doing in my swamp?
That works too. Wait, wow, you really are just a big evil worm. You're like a Nurgle version of Village. That's disappointing. This whole time I had hoped that you were a green ogre tyrant because the internet loves green ogres. Somehow I think even less of you now. Tamakan, as a champion of Nurgle, I'm predisposed to hating you, but I'll try my best to be fair with you. Considering how popular Skarbrand is, I'll never understand why Creative Assembly gave Nurgle 3 legendary lords before Khorne could get 2. It's nice to see that Creative Assembly finally decided to give another legendary lord
Mutant
an
wolf
upgraded
thing.
version of Marcus Wolfheart's hero mechanic. Despite my newest reservations, you're still the coolest Ogre Lord and the coolest Lord of Nurgle, but you shouldn't take
He
that
has
as a
ton of
compliment.
boils on his back.
Your competition on the Ogre's side is a fat American and a hoarder who lugs around a massive cauldron like an LA crackhead. Likewise, your competition on the Nurgle side includes a sick American who also can't leave his wheelchair, a crazy doctor, and a complete weirdo. I'll take the Shrek cosplayer with an axe over those 5 other options any day. At least your DLC added some good units to the Nurgle roster, plus your skill tree is actually amazing. Well, except for this one. I think it's crazy how far away you start from your rival in Nuln. Especially since I've played several Empire campaigns and I've never even seen your faction on the campaign map. Actually, I've never even seen your faction as Malachi, and he starts a stone's throw away. Maybe you should stop being so weak all the time. Tamakant, more like Tamakant. Speaking of your defeat trait, hunting that down used to be the most exciting thing about you. It's no wonder Creative Assembly nerfed that as soon as possible. It would be a real shame for anyone to get excited about a champion of Nurgle. Anyway, I'm also getting bored of Nurgle. I'm going to leave before this swamp gets me sick.
All right, get out of here!
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
My invisible boy wasn't here. Did he take him out? Did he forget about him? Wait, is he hiding and he's gonna show up at the end?
Valkyr the Bloody.
I love that he uses
You know, as I
DBZ
do,
teleport.
that life without war is anguish.
It's the lady he keeps
Only
showing.
those who display a natural aptitude for murder may serve in the blood god's war bands.
Yeah, don't waste your recruiting pitch on me. Trust me, I've heard them all, and Carl still has the best one.
There will always be blood.
Tell that to Skarbrand. That poor bastard hasn't seen any blood in 10 turns.
Never!
Okay, have it your way. Good grief, you murdering types sure have a lot of titles. Gore Queen, Valkyrie, Bride of Khorne. I'm sorry I have to stop here. What does that mean? I just spent a lot of time advising Slanesh, and I might be too cooked. Do you and Khorne do the horizontal monster mash? Is it a sexless marriage for politics? Is a sexless marriage even a marriage at all? I don't even think Tzeentch knows that one.
My infernal master's gifts will empower us to serve his ends, lest death or damnation take us first.
So, you do smash?
Invisible
Forget it.
Boy is no
Anyway,
longer
for
in the
being Bride
videos,
of Khorne,
because after
your patron
dapping up
god
Ban, he
really
is now
screwed
in
you
your room.
over with your abysmal bloodletting mechanic. I mean, what is this? Skarbrand is literally in exile, and his bloodletting mechanic is on enough steroids to make even the most juiced-up heroes jealous.
Not Khorne's will.
Oh, I get it now. Khorne's mad at you for recruiting sorcerers. He's never been a big fan of the Shadow Wizard money gang. I'm a little surprised he hasn't issued you a divorce notice. In hindsight, that would explain why Skarbrand was so eager to kill me. Well, I guess your bad campaign mechanics can be chalked up to a good old marital spat. Y'all should really try to emulate the Von Karstens.
No!
By the way, for someone in such an important position, we all thought it was hilarious that you got beat up in your own trailer by a bunch of marauders. What a joke. Kolick would never put up with that.
Do not dare to look at me as if I am beneath your fear.
According to your lore, you're like the Khorne equivalent of Karen, bringing worthy Norscans to Valhalla. I mean, the plains of Khorne. Isn't that like a full-time job? Like Norscans are crazy, they're always dying. No thanks to you, by the way.
After we water the earth with our enemy's blood, we will drink whatever's left.
How do you even have time to ferry dead Norscans while you're violating the Dark Elves on the other side of the map?
My paramour calls, but what gifts await me in his realm?
Did she just leave for a booty call? And where did Khorne get a cell phone? Now I've seen it all. I'm leaving. I'll see you all again on Saturday.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. watch the rest of them next time?